Hi, I'm Tatiana. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a bass player and I'm really interested in what possibilities and opportunities this wonderful instrument gives us to use in music. Today it's about harmonics and what they can look and sound like on the bass guitar. Whether you're a beginner or a more seasoned bass player, harmonics are an awesome way to add more color and depth to your playing. So let's explore how they work, how to play them, and where to use them. First of all, what are harmonics? Harmonics sound bell-like and ringing, and they are causing very regular sound waves. I'll talk about physics a little bit later. They are also called overtones or resonances. To play harmonics, you don't press the string, you just touch the string, dividing its sounding body into parts. It's a very light touch, I will show you. Harmonics can be natural or artificial. They're natural when you play them on the open strings. Here at the fret 12 is a middle of the open string, so it divides the string into two halves. Here you have the easiest produced natural harmonic. The note here is the same as the open string, but one octave higher. Now I'm splitting this half in two and I get quarters at the fret 5. So this is a quarter and 3/4 of the string are here. At the fret 5, the harmonic is the same as the open string but 2 octaves higher. Here you have it 1 octave higher and here you have it 2 octaves higher. Now I'm dividing the string into 3 equal parts, the thirds, and here it is at the fret 7. Here on the string G, it's the note D. It's a perfect fifth up from G. You can try to divide the string on the smaller parts. For example, on some instruments, natural harmonics sound well in the positions 3 and 4 and 9. These are my natural harmonics on the frets 3 and 4 and 9. For playing natural harmonics in these positions, it makes sense if you move your plucking hand a little bit closer to the bridge. Jaco Pastorius used them too sometimes, for example in his piece Portrait of Tracy. However, I can't say that they sound good on all instruments. Many instruments won't give you a decent sound when you try to split the string into smaller sections than quarters. I've made one video before about natural harmonics explaining how we can use them for tuning the instruments. If you want, you can check it out there. Today I will delve a little bit deeper and tell you about artificial harmonics. But first, a little bit of physics. The sound of pitched instruments consists of the fundamental tone and overlapping harmonics. Harmonics help you recognize what is the instrument sounding. They color the tone so that you can recognize the sound. It sounds a little bit like magic to me, so that the fundamental tone is mixed with harmonics, which are regular sound waves, and with some irregular sound waves caused by the technical specifics of the instruments, by the pickup. That is why different bass guitars sound differently and you can recognize them by their sound. So when you just play the open string, let's say G, you hear the fundamental tone G and you hear all that harmonics that I showed you, they are mixed into that sound. You cannot recognize them, but they are there and they color that bass guitar tone for you. What's about the particular harmonics that are mixed into the sound of the bass guitar? They are usually very regular and very clear, so they are the same for different instruments. If you can understand that the instruments are different hearing just their harmonics, it usually means that the harmonics were played not perfectly, they were mixed with more sound waves. Because the sound wave of a perfect harmonic is very regular and it's very clear and it's not colored. Artificial harmonics are a step up. Recently, I published a video playing my arrangement of the traditional spiritual Swing Low Sweet Chariot, and I used some artificial harmonics there. I use natural harmonics in my arrangements pretty often, but that was actually the first time when I used the artificial ones. When you press the string, you make the sounding body of it shorter and the sound goes up. You still can split the sounding body into some parts, halves, quarters, or whatever you want, and the frets help you. So if I press it on the fret 1, so I make it 1 fret shorter, the middle of the string will go 1 fret up. Here I have the artificial harmonic of this note. This is G sharp or A flat. When I go 1 fret up, my harmonic goes up too. This is A. For producing this sound, you need to find another way to use your plucking hand. Your fretboard hand is busy pressing the string, and your plucking hand needs to touch the string in a specific place and pluck it at the same time. I usually use my thumb to touch the string and my middle finger to pluck it. In my arrangement of Swing Low Sweet Chariot, I wanted to use high-sounding harmonics for the notes A and F. I could find a natural harmonic for the note A, but I couldn't find it for the note F, so I had to use artificial harmonics. I pressed them and I produced harmonics dividing the string in quarters, an equivalent of position 5. I touched the string 5 frets up from A and 5 frets up from F, and that was here. I faced the situation a few times when I needed to go pretty fast from the high position to low position, from the solo to accompaniment. You need time to move your hand, right? But sometimes it's good when the sound doesn't interrupt. If you use just traditional pressing the string on the frets, the sound will interrupt and it sounds like this. But if you use the harmonics on the fret 12, it will sound like this. So while I was moving my hand, the sound lasted. In this case, the harmonic on the fret 12 will be the last note of your solo. There is another way how to move your hand smoothly from the high positions to low. It's not related to harmonics, but I will tell you. The second option is using open strings, but the sound of the open string will be the first note of your accompaniment. So it sounds like this. Another way to use them is for very transparent places in the arrangements when you can really enjoy that ringing sound. Something like this. I would say that harmonics are underused for bass guitars. Typically, the classical instruments like violin, violas, cellos, and classical guitars use them a lot, but they're not so common yet for the electric instruments. It's pretty hard to find a good use for them playing just a typical bass line, but sometimes they can add more color in the arrangement. So that's a quick introduction to harmonics on the bass guitar. They are such a fun and expressive tool to have in your playing. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like, subscribe if you want, and you're welcome to drop a comment below if you have any questions or ideas for future videos. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.